P3 Science Essay 1 paper. So let's get started. The first question asks, what else must Adam provide so that the hamster is able to survive? We know that one important characteristic of living things is that they need air, food, and water to stay alive. In this diagram, there is a hole which allows the hamster to receive air, and food is provided in a dish. Hence, the only missing thing is water, so the answer should be 3. The second question asks, what characteristics of living things does the above action show? Looking at the statements, we can see that the actions are flies away, tries to escape, and barks fiercely. With the elimination method, we can see that these actions are not related to growing, reproduction, or air, flow, and water. So the correct answer should be 3. Respond to changes. Looking at statement A, the bird's response is to fly away upon seeing a cat. So that's the change. Now the third question shows you a diagram with 2 groups of things. We know that the clock, eraser, and bottle in group A are non-living things, while the lizard, dolphin, and grass in group B are living things. So the answer should be 2. Now question 4, it tests your knowledge on animal characteristics. Looking at A, we know that it has no legs, but it has scales. We know that only fishes and reptiles have scales for its outer covering. So using the elimination method, option 1, 2, and 3 are wrong, and the answer should be 4. Question 5 also tests your knowledge on animal characteristics. Alif is correct in saying that insects have 3 pairs of legs. Betty is wrong because amphibians live on both land and water, such as frogs. Carol is also wrong because fishes and reptiles have scales, but amphibians have moist skin. Darren is correct in saying that mammals produce milk to feed their young. So the correct answer should be 2. Question 6 shows an orange which developed a green patch after a week. First, we identify that this green patch is mold, and this question tests your knowledge on mold. We know that mold is a living thing that reproduces by spores. So the correct answer should be 3. Moving on, question 7 tests your knowledge on animal characteristics. According to the flowchart, D breathes through its skin. We know that only amphibians can do that. So through elimination, option 1 and 2 are wrong. Moving down the flowchart, does it have scales? F does not have scales. And we look at mammals and birds. Mammals have hair, birds have feather. So F is correct. Now we look at E. Does it breathe through gills? Yes. Only fishes have scales and breathe through gills. So the correct answer should be 4. Question 8 tests your knowledge on materials and asks which property of material is able to withstand the mass of heavy objects. As strength is the ability to withstand heavy objects without breaking, the answer is 1. Question 9 shows you a waterproof umbrella and asks which property of material is which of the following objects share the same property. So the property that the question is talking about is waterproofness, and the correct answer should be 2, as the other objects can absorb water. Now, question 10 describes object A as flexible, absorbs water, and sink in water. Through elimination, we know that the rubber frog, plastic bowl, and the metal ruler is waterproof and does not absorb water. So the answer will be 4, the cotton scarf. Question 11 shows you 2 groups of items, and you have to find a property that is common within the group, but different between group X and Y. Let us use the elimination method to go through the options. Strength is the ability to withstand heavy weights without breaking, and this is true for the bath towel, metal chopsticks, and glass bottle. So option 1 is wrong, because the bath towel and aluminum foil must both share the same property in the same group. Moving on to option 2, flexibility is the ability to bend without breaking. Now this is true for the aluminum foil and bath towel, which is in group X, and not true for the metal chopsticks and glass bottle, which is in the same group Y. So the correct answer is 2. Question 12 asks which materials can be used to make a coat. Let us think of the properties a coat should have and match it to the materials. As we need to wear the coat, it has to be flexible. So option 1, 2, and 4 are out. So fabric is flexible, and that is the correct answer. Moving to question 13. According to the flowchart, A does not grow. So it is not a living thing and it must be a bicycle. So using elimination, option 3 and 4 are wrong. Moving down the chart, can it make its own food? C can make its own food, so it must be a plant. We know that moss is a plant, so option 1 is the correct answer. Moving on to question 14. Question 14 needs you to classify butterfly, crocodile, cow, and leatherback into A, B, C, or D. A is under a non-living thing box, so it must be the leatherback. So using elimination, 3 and 4 are out. Next, B is under the living things box, and the other animals inside the same group B are pigs and monkeys, which we know are mammals. Looking at option 1 and 2, the crocodile is a reptile, so it is wrong. It does not belong in group B. Cow is a mammal, so yes, it belongs in group B, and the correct answer is 2. Question 15 asks you to find which letter best represents the water lily plant using the flowchart. So let's go down the flowchart based on the description they give us. So the water lily is a water plant. So does it grow on land? No. Does it grow entirely underwater? According to the description, the roots are in water, but the leaves and flower float on the water surface. So it does not grow entirely underwater. Following the path, we get G. So the answer should be 4. Question 16 shows you 6 animals in 3 different groups. Animals in the same group must share the same characteristic. So let's go through the different options and see which is true. Option 1 says that animals in group P have scales as outer covering. While this is true for the angelfish, the whale is a mammal, which means it has hair for outer covering. So option 1 is wrong. Option 2 says that animals in group P lay eggs in water, but this is only true for the angelfish and not the whale because mammals give birth to young alive. So option 2 is wrong. Now option 3 says that animals in P have no legs. And this is true for both angelfish and the whale. Now we'll go on to column Q. So column Q says that animals in Q have 2 legs. This is true for the pigeon, but it is not true for the butterfly because the butterfly is an insect and insects have 6 legs. So option 3 is also wrong. So by elimination, we know that option 4 is the correct answer. Question 17 shows you a table of characteristics and asks you to match the animal shown to the correct letter. So from this diagram, you can see that the animal is an insect with 6 pairs of legs, and a pair of feelers. We also know that insects reproduce by laying eggs. So option 1 is the correct answer. Question 18 wants you to find the incorrect statement. So let us go down the list and check against the table. Option 1 says that X is a fungus. And looking at the table, you can see that it says X grows on other plants. This statement is correct because we know that fungus grows on plants or animals to obtain food. So option 1 is wrong because we are looking for the incorrect statement. Now option 2 says that Y is a fungus. But looking at the table, Y has leaves, grows on other plants, and grows towards sunlight. As we know that only plants have leaves and grow towards sunlight, option 2 is an incorrect statement because Y should be a plant instead of fungus. Hence the answer is 2. So for question 19, Mr. Johnson keeps some guppies in the tank without adding or taking any guppies out. Looking at the table, we can see that the number of guppies increases over time. As we know that Mr. Johnson did not add any guppies, the increase in number of guppies must be due to reproduction. So the correct answer is 2. Now for question 20, the table lists some properties of the materials, rubber and metal, which are used to make certain parts of the car. By elimination alone, we know that option 1 is wrong because metal is not transparent and it does not allow light to pass through. Option 2 states that rubber is flexible and metal is strong. And this is true as the tires are made of rubber needs to be flexible for air so that the air can be pumped inside. And the front of the car is made of metal because it needs to be strong to protect the driver. So the answer is 2. Now, question 21 tests your knowledge on properties of materials, and you need to know that wood is a material that is opaque, which means it does not allow light to pass through, and wood is not flexible, which means that it cannot be bent easily without breaking. So looking at the table, the correct answer should be 4. N. Now, moving on to question 22. Question 22 shows you the properties of materials P, Q, R, and S in the table and asks which is most suitable for making a sink. First, you have to understand the function of the sink is where one washes dishes. The sink should be waterproof, so it does not absorb the water used, and it must be strong to support the weight of the bowls and plates without breaking. Hence, the material should have the property waterproof and strong, and the answer is Q, option 2. Now, question 23 shows you a table measuring the amount of light that passes through 4 different materials using a plus sign. As you need to be able to see through spectacles for reading, part S must be transparent and allow light to pass through. Looking at the table, material Z allows for most light to pass through with the most number of plus sign. So the answer should be Z, option 4. Now, question 24 shows an experiment where a 2 kg weight is dropped on 4 different types of materials, A, B, C, D, to see how many drops will break the material. We know that strength is ability to withstand heavy weights without breaking. So the strongest material will be one that can withstand the most number of weights, most number of drops by the weights. So looking at the table, B is the weakest with the lowest number of drops. And D is the strongest with the most number of drops. So option 1 and 2 are wrong. Now, material C can only take 10 drops before breaking, but material D can take 21 drops. So material C is weaker than material D, and option 3 is correct.